Kind of hoping everybody would raise their glass here and.
Okay.
You're here. 58 years in this industry. I can't believe it.
You can't understand it either.
I want to say the same thing again. Thank you all for coming. And many of you don't know how I came into this industry. What is that thing?
That's Dottie's phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I came into this industry, in a sense, almost on purpose, but at the same time by accident. I walked in, after I got out of the Navy, I walked into the office of Kohlmeyer on Carondelet Street because I saw this amazing big active screen coming across up there. I didn't know what it was. It was a ticker tape. And so I went in there and I saw somebody I recognized and we chatted for a few minutes and he said, you should consider coming into this industry. So I went to my employment counselor and we arranged an appointment with the gentleman of all gentlemen, Mr. Darwin Fenner. And so I chatted with him initially. We had a short interview and then I had a little aptitude test. It took about 20 minutes. That was back before they were really doing much testing. And then after that he called and he said, you know, the test results, you know, seem all right. Mixed, but all right. And he said, Jack, where did you grow up? And I said, Mr. Fenner, I was mostly in Texas. He said, well, who was your father and who was your grandfather? This is Mr. Fenner speaking now, you know. To him, everything was who your folks were, you know. So I said, well, my grandfather was in the office equipment business here for many years. It was Herbert Parker. Pause. He said, did they live on Calhoun Street? And I said, Mr. Fenner, that was a long time before I was around, so I don't know where they lived. He said, was your mother's name Adrienne? I said, yes. He turned around and said, Sue, see if there's room in class 36 for Jack. That's all it took. He grew up, he and my mother were best friends growing up on Calhoun Street. So that's how I came in, you know. No competition, just that's the way I came in. And I stayed in the business. I spent a year on active duty in the Navy when we were recalled for one of the crises, that one being the Berlin Wall crisis, which occurred just before the Cuban Missile Crisis, and nobody remembers the Berlin Wall crisis. Very few people remember the Korean War event, which was my first service, you know, the Forgotten War, they refer to it. And I finally made it through the recall. I came back and then eventually made my way to E.F. Hutton and to, thank the Lord, to Morgan Keegan. And thanks to Bill Freiberg and Tommy Orr, an old friend of mine from E.F. Hutton days, and to Jude Duval, who is our regional officer with Raymond James. But I thank you all for coming. I am wrapping up this 58 years, having come in to this employment experience 58 years ago, having seen several faces along the way here that I have become very affectionate about because we all worked together 30 years ago. So Angela Adams, my photographer here, Angela Adams is one. Carol Cavalier, another, you know. F.J. Schultz and I were working with each other, you know. We go back, and others here as well. We go back a long way. Full circle for many of us. Well, thank you all again. I'm going to have although it's 4 o'clock, I'm going to have my martini. And thank you all with great affection and great appreciation.
We love you.